For my COETAIL final project, I thought that our PYP Year 6 exhibition provided a lot of evidence of student involvement throughout all aspects of the unit. For those who are unaware, the International Baccalaureate have developed the PYP exhibition to be a culminating experience for the students exiting the primary years program. On page 1 of the guidelines, it gives details about the purpose of the exhibition. An expectation of the exhibition is that students choose topics that are locally and globally relevant and has personal interest to them. Here are a couple students who discuss the research process that was used during their 10-week exhibition unit.
So, what did you use throughout the exhibition process to help guide your exploration of your topic?
Well, we use the Big Six checklist, and it has 6 parts, which is task definition, information seeking strategies, location and access, synthesis, information, and evaluation.
We had to define our questions, find the answers to the questions, share our new learning with the community, and assess our understanding.
How did you use technology to get answers to your exhibition questions?
Well, we made a survey to help gather our information. We used SurveyMonkey. But once we made the survey, we printed it out from SurveyMonkey and then gave it out like that.
Okay, why did you choose to use SurveyMonkey?
Well, our mentor recommended it and said, Mr. Mike, the teacher, he can help us because he's really good at making surveys.
Was SurveyMonkey useful to get the information you needed from your target audience, your target population?
Yes.
Why was it useful?
Well, because it was an easier way to read it instead of just doing a survey on Word. It would be more complicated to make it, and maybe it would be easier to read for the younger kids.
What technology did you use to store the information you collected during your research stage of the exhibition?
We used Google Doc because our mentors had suggested it, and they had a very good experience with it, and we could also work on it at the same time and edit at the same time. We also stored some of the information in exhibition folders because we didn't have to have a computer to store it.
What challenges did you face using the Google Doc technology?
Well, the Google Doc, we couldn't put files in it, music, and so we decided to use Dropbox for storing access and files instead. So that, which Mr. Shields suggested to us.
So guys, you used technology during the research phase and the sharing phase. How did you use technology for your exhibition project?
So we're going to start explaining, first of all, with Gustavo, how he's used the technology and what for stuff.
So we created a website in order to take action, and not only for the people in Angola, the citizens of Angola, to know what is happening but also everywhere in the world, India, Indonesia, America, everywhere in general, so we can really make a change. We also made a Prezi to summarize our information and put it all in the Prezi, and we showed it in our presentation day. Yeah, and that was where we put all our information, basically that we gathered during the research phase. Now moving on to Felipe with how we used our phones, in the research phase.
Okay, so I'm going to explain how we use our phones. When we used our phones was when we interviewed the transport minister, because we had some questions to ask them for us to gather some more information. And we got the information, it's perfect, and we put it in the synthesis. We
sort of variety with the Gourmet? The Gourmet videos were powered by action, and basically, as the song said, it's for other people in other places to know what we're doing and what.
So, how Muslim said, yes, we use the police station to simulate drunk driving. We wanted to know the facts. If you drink, what happens, the questions, and many stuff. And instead of giving them beer, that's what we don't want. We just spin them around to the simulation work. We also did a poster for action that we did it in Comic Life, and Comic Life is a type of site that we use to do our poster, and we laminated and put in condominiums and shops like Carol and stuff. Thank you very much for the interview.
Beginning positions, we would like to interview you about the exhibition.
Of course.
Okay, so our first question was, what digital technology was used to facilitate the communication process during the exhibition?
Well, first I guess we'd start with our email accounts, which we needed to communicate with each other initially, and also to create any sort of external account to communicate with each other. So eventually we ended up using a Dropbox format where we had shared folders within Dropbox, and teams of students could store their information there instead of using things like thumb drives or just storing the information on one laptop, which had been used before, and I felt was ineffective because it was too reliant on one person or another person to have the information at their fingertips, when really everyone in the group should always have the information at their fingertips.
Okay, so our second question was, what are the issues associated to the communication technology, apps, and other programs during the exhibition process? Basically, how did the internet affect our use of technology during the exhibition?
Well, I mean, the internet as a research tool is invaluable. So first and foremost, I believe the research tool or aspect of the internet is the most important. But then every single thing, that we did involving there was lots of projects. Some people created websites, I'm sure the whole thing was blogged on the class blogs themselves. I'm not sure if anyone used Prezi, but there was, as far as I can tell, multiple factors for the internet was used. Even if it was to come to screencasting something, which is something you would download off the internet. So I think mainly research, but lots of tools as well.
Thank you for this.
Yes, no problem.
One of the benefits of showcasing the exhibition is that students have ownership throughout the process. They may be guided by their mentors or teachers to use the technologies available to them, but ultimately it was their decision whether to use it or not. We noticed that a number of new technologies was introduced to the students too fast, and it limited their ability to use them effectively. We were still impressed with the range of evidence of student learning and presentation styles, from songs to puppet shows to prezis, and even movies were used to showcase their understanding.